You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Challenge Battle of the Exes After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Challenge Battle of the Exes After Show.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are doing another AfterBuzz TV show for MTV Battle of the Exes, Season 22, Episode 11. I am DJ Jesse Janedy, here in studio with the one, the only. We're the only two left. We're the winners of the Battle of AfterBuzz.
Literally the one, the only Roxy Striar.
Yes.
Hello.
So, as you guys see, we won the challenge. It is us, your two favorite hosts, and we're going to kill this right now. The reunion.
You guys are doing a great job, as always. As a reminder, iTunes.
And speaking of the man who's been behind us the whole time, the myth, the legend, not the Miz, but Ronnie Jr.
I get into it because I like this Stump the Steamer thing, and the one time I got an answer right, it made me feel good because I watched The Real World enough times.
Look,
Oh yeah.
we need the steamer to be on the line.
We're gonna get him for sure.
Excellent. So, because we're going to totally stump the steamer tonight. I'm really excited. Susie, one of our biggest fans, gave me a killer today. And so, Ronnie, actually, I would even love it if you could jump in to answer this question when we get to it.
When you told me the question, I didn't even know the question enough to know.
Let's not give it away yet. We can talk about that in a second.
Okay.
But before that, like Ronnie said, iTunes guys, please, 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 this is the last episode. The last time you're going to see me and Roxy's face on this show. Of course, we'll always be doing other AfterBuzz shows together. But iTunes, subscribe to us, download, go back and listen to the first episode again and just laugh with us, comment with us.
And just, I think the most exciting part about it is if you're a fan of a specific show, you get to go and see everyone else talking about the same things you had memories about. You're like, oh yeah, I remember season 10 was Real World, this and that, that kind of deal. So.
Exactly. And if you guys are just joining us, we've had interviews with Frank Sweeney from Real World San Diego, Alex Govert from Real World. We had it with Tyler Duckworth from
CT the other day.
Last week. So
Leroy comes in all the time. Nehemiah.
Just make sure you guys check us out.
And then you have the Steamer, so that's always a big look too. Steamer, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Steamer! How you doing, bud?
Doing all right.
I'm super excited. I think we got a whammy for you. For the reunion, the final episode, I don't know, buddy. You surprised me last week with those answers, but I think we got you tonight. I think we're going out with a bang. But all right, now, how do we think of the reunion? I thought it was kind of short. Upset because Maria Menounos was not hosting it, and she normally does.
Okay, that being said, I thought The Miz did a pretty good job. Not as good as our very own Maria would do, but he did a pretty good job. He's got his own swag going on. He's kind of funny. I was like, he's really awkward, but it's working. I'm kind of into it.
And you were like, why is The Miz doing this?
Yeah, because I know him as a wrestler, and you're like...
He was actually from the Real World.
And I had no idea. So I thought this episode or this reunion was really freaking funny.
It was.
The 50% of it that I understood. The other 50% I was like, wait, because here's the deal. I'm so used to watching Jersey Shore reunions.
Right.
In Jersey Shore, these characters have turned into actors, and they know not to step on each other's toes, and they know when to talk, and they know when to listen. These people are kids. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean kids as in their age. I mean, they're not actors. They're regular people who are doing this because they love it, but they don't know when to talk, when not to. I mean, CT, freaking awesome, but he's just talking, and everybody's like, and DM even goes at one point, You have time to talk, and I have time to talk, okay?
Even Ty said that to Emily.
Yeah, exactly. So they're jumping on each other's toes, which makes it really hard for us to listen. And I'm shocked the producers didn't come in and say, one at a time, bitches, one at a time.
Well, actually, I think the producers did that on their own, because if you noticed, one person would start to talk and their mic wasn't on. So they were engineering their mics throughout it, which is
They were
actually...
trying.
Which to me was almost like you just should have kind of left all the mics on, because I felt like we were kind of missing some of the things that certain people were saying.
Yeah, maybe bad editing. I couldn't really tell. It was chaotic, to say the least.
Chaotic.
But a lot of good shit happened. So
Steamer, what did you think of the reunion episode tonight? What did you think of the Miz hosting this?
I thought he was horrible.
Really?
It's just too much like a character. Just speak like a normal person. Don't try to act like you're the Miz. Like, just speak normally. And it was just too cartoony.
Well, see, maybe it's because I've seen The Miz wrestle, and I was really horrified to watch The Miz tonight, because we don't get to watch really the after shows that MTV puts on, because we're doing our own after shows. So I haven't seen. So maybe he's been getting a little more practice, but he's totally much better than he used to be. This time last year, he was horrible. Like, I would want to be like vomit when I saw him. He'd be like, "All right, and Roxy Striar, you gonna be what happened when you were in love with CT?" It was like, whoa, this is not WWE.
here's what I will say. There's a fine line between how much personality you put out there as a host, and also it's not great to choose sides. You're supposed to try to stay as objective as possible. And I thought he did actually a pretty good job doing that.
I totally agree.
So I liked the way he phrased his questions. They didn't seem to be leading to me. Whether that was MTV who wrote them for him, props to them, I guess. But I don't think he was. Yes, he's the Miz. He's got a character to him. I mean, how do you put him on screen and have him not be the Miz?
Right.
It's impossible. So they knew what they were getting into when they had him.
I think I like him a little bit better. I understand the character aspect of it, but I didn't like Chet from not DC, from Brooklyn,
we're
and
not
he
even
was
bringing
doing.
him up.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
you can't. I'm
saying that's
just talking shit.
If we're not gonna have Maria on it, obviously because of her other commitments, I'd rather see Miz than them going with that guy.
Agreed, because also the Miz has done this before, and that's what I like about
Absolutely.
it. But the one thing I will say about it, I wish he's had the experience. I wish he kind of like, which maybe that is why he picks on them a little more. Maria doesn't really pick on them. Maria is more, trying to get in their brains. Like,
Well,
what
that's
were you guys
Maria's
doing?
job. She's
No, right.
incredible at it. The Miz is not experienced in hosting and.
So it was interesting to see that side of the Miz, to be able to be like, well, I know Mark is an older guy, so Mark, you retiring. Like, he just knew where to pick. And so
Right.
where he fell in the hosting part of it, I think he picked up with his personality almost.
Oh, and I'm dying to ask a question because Steamer knows all. Didn't Mark Long already retire once? Like, didn't we already have an epic Mark
Yeah.
is gone? This is not the first time, right?
Yeah, that's what he was referencing, because he gave Derek his bandana saying he's retiring. And then he came back for the Duel 2, and then at the end of this one he said he's retiring, and now apparently that's over too. So
And credit to Mark. I like
as far as the challenge.
I love Mark as the host when he does it, but obviously he couldn't do it this season because he was in it. I don't mind him.
I don't mind him either, but to me, sometimes Mark just gets what we call, when we watch the Bad Girls Club, we call them mayo. Mayo is just kind of, it's there, it's boring. He can spice it up a little bit.
Mayo's disgusting.
Well, I didn't want to just go out there and say all that, but it's plain. And whereas the Miz, to me, spiced it up a little bit. I really liked him. But let's get into what we actually. Go ahead, Roxy. I know you want it.
Well, I was just gonna say I like when they choose people who've been on the show because he knows his stuff.
Right.
So as opposed to like Amy Paffrath, who we see do some of these, and she is a friend of AfterBuzzers, and she's a really nice girl, and I think she does have potential, and she has been growing. But when she started doing the Jersey Shore ones, I was like, I don't think she's ever watched a single episode.
Oh.
You can tell. So at least you can tell with The Miz, he knows what he's talking about.
Right. And
So-
these are his friends. Maybe not friends, but he
Right.
hangs out with them. He
Right,
knows
which
it.
also puts him at a disadvantage because maybe there's some questions he felt like he couldn't ask. So
Right. No, that's
then I
true,
see what
too.
Steamer's saying, that maybe it's not the best idea.
I say hire Coral and call it a day. She would be great.
I would love Corals from the
Sam-
Miz's episode. The New York episode. So, all right. But he did ask some pretty good questions. I think he hit all the PowerPoints, because then at one point, I was surprised how short the reunion was. But then at one point, I sat and I said, you know what? I don't know if I really would want to recap everything. And I
Yeah,
think
but we
he
didn't
hit,
even talk about who won and how that last challenge was.
That is true.
We talked about that
Actually.
at AfterBuzz last week, so we hashed that out and we heard everything from CT.
So if you guys really want to know what CT and all the challenges thought, you go back and listen to our last podcast.
100%, but I thought that was really weird.
And it's important.
Isn't that the point of the show?
Well, I thought that, but then I started once he asked, though, he jumped into the first topic, which was CT and DM. I was like, okay, they're gonna go off relationships.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been commenting on this whole season.
Battle of the Exes.
Battle of the Exes, and how there's never been like romance was never like the whole theme of the challenge shows. And with this one, they kind of wanted to tie it in. I guess they're trying to make it more like the real world, more like all these reality TV shows. But so like tonight, CT and DM, he basically threw it out there that they had some baggage. After talking to CT, because we didn't really get to talk about our feelings about this, what are your feelings as far as this relationship? Everyone said they wanted to see it there. Everyone said there were feelings there. For me personally, I don't think CT really had feelings. I mean, if you're there with an ex, obviously things are going to be brought up. But I think CT's the type of guy, like, I'm done with it, I'm over it, it's done. And I think it was more, to me, I feel more DM.
No, this actually, I'm really stressed about all this.
Right.
It's frustrating because I feel like I've been standing up for them the whole time.
Right.
And then tonight, DM says, at the beginning of the challenge, I didn't want to win to piss him off. Now, that comment alone is like, I'll be honest, we've had some people come into AfterBuzz and say some not too hot things about DM.
True.
I'm no names out there, but I'm just saying we've heard some things about her, and I've said, no, she seems like a really great girl. She seems like she's really trying, and she killed it in the final episode. I mean, that girl is an athlete.
Right.
But saying something like that it just seems to me that her head's in the completely wrong place, and
Like she's more of an emotional... she lets her emotions override
she would
too much.
rather throw the challenge to piss off her ex than make it to the end, and that's somebody who doesn't deserve to win.
Exactly.
And I'm happy she didn't then, to be honest.
Oh, but CT. Steamer, what did you think of this whole CT DM love fiasco?
I agree with you guys. I don't think he had feelings for it at this point. It just seems like he just wanted to, at the end, he just wanted to hatch it all out so he can try to win some money. And I don't think he really wanted to get back together with her or anything. So, and as Roxy said, once DM said that about wanting to throw the challenge to piss off CT, it's like that's been 5 years ago. Just get over it. And it's kind of like a shallow move on her part to want to sabotage it like that. Just
And very
maybe lose a little bit of respect for her.
Right, and very flip-floppy too, because I mean, she's sitting there and she's saying that, but then she sits there and says, well, you know, this is the most amazing experience of my life. Like, you're never going to be able to do these things again. It's like, well, you would never be able to do those things if you threw it because of something that happened 5 years ago. So I don't know if she's playing to the camera more so.
That's another thing. When we saw them talk and finally they were hashing things out, and she said to him, you know, I would have loved to have been at your brother's funeral, and they had that big conversation.
Right.
And she's like, I bought my plane ticket, I swear. And that's all we saw. But then what happened? You know what I mean? She's like, I would have loved to have been there, and I bought my plane ticket.
Just done.
So, and then why didn't you show up? Like, you know what I mean? So I just think a couple things she said, when you look back through the season, it's a little sketchy.
Right.
But that being said, I don't know the girl. Maybe that's the way editing works, but it's a little sketchy.
Agreed. Relationship, a little sketchy. Glad they aren't together. Obviously, it was more for the camera.
Right.
Next, let's move into Ty and Paula. Here's where, I mean, Steamer, I don't know, we wish you could watch the show with us, but please tell us, like, did you think that some of the things that were going on in this reunion, we were like, why is this happening right now? Hence, Paula's breakdown.
Yeah, that was very ponderous. And then she's like playing up her like comedic effect with her like pauses. It's like it was just ridiculous. I don't know why they spent so much time on it.
Does anybody else agree? I think she was drunk. I mean, I don't really understand.
She has been on the past reunions. Maria's commented that they've come in hammered, and Paula's one of them since.
Really? Because Paula to me just seemed shit-faced.
A few months back, he was really blasted, like when she showed up, and this was like Sunday morning at like 10:30 when they filmed it.
Yeah,
so
And it's like
ridiculous.
there for like 6 hours.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this goes like this. It's like when you're really drunk and emotional and you can't breathe, but she had no tears coming down her face.
But she had a tissue.
But she did have a tissue. And then, yeah, she's trying to make a joke of it. And then she starts saying some weird stuff. She was like, nobody's being hard enough on me. And
She like yelled at everybody,
Yeah.
but then told them she loved them.
yeah,
and-
I don't know. It just seemed drunk and emotional to me.
And also another random thing which just hit me right after they showed the montage about Ty and Paula, where you would think after the montage a question would be directed to Ty or Paula, or one of them would have spoken. Emily's like, just so everyone knows, I was not jealous, bitch.
I think that was editing, because later on we hear a question specifically addressed to Emily, and Ty goes, what did he say? He was like, that's my question, don't answer my question. He says something like that. It was like, oh, shut the fuck up right now, this is my question to answer. And it was specifically addressed to her, and then they cut to him, and he's like, this is my question to answer. So I feel like
Maybe it was editing.
something with editing, like they
Okay,
just
because
trying
I
to
was just
piece
like,
it
that
together.
is so random that she would come back, and it's like, well, if no one asks you a question and then you start defending yourself, kind of makes you a little guilty.
Seriously, we see that later with Robin. I am not crazy.
Oh,
Nobody here is crazy. I think you are.
I was like,
right.
bitch, you crazy.
Like,
And I mean that, I'm crazy too, but I would never go out and say, I'm not crazy. All of a sudden, Mark was, I'm sorry, it was Johnny was saying like, oh, and they're calling her crazy, and she's like, Johnny, do not call me crazy. And she gets on the crazy eyes and is like, I am not crazy, I'm not crazy. I'm like, girl, that's the number one sign.
well, what did you think, Steamer, about that whole Camilla telling Johnny about Rachel talking smack behind the back? What did you think?
Like what they said tonight, or like when it happened?
Well, no, what they said tonight. What was your
I mean,
take
what
on
Rachel says like makes sense. And at the time, I was a little hesitant that she would throw Mark under the bus like that, but
Right.
believing it could happen. So I believe that Rachel was saying is correct, but Johnny does have a point. Like when you're trying to subliminally throw somebody, get them thrown into the duel or jungle, whatever it was, the
Dome.
you gotta be
that
strategic
dome,
about it.
the dome, that you got to be smooth about it. And
Right.
I wouldn't put it past Rachel to be like that. So
And
overall, I don't know who I would side with in that argument.
And then even
Both sides.
Diem stepping in and being kind of like, well, I think maybe it was a little misconstrued.
But innocently.
Innocently.
Yeah.
So I do kind of get a side with Rachel in that, because I kind of felt like if Diem's saying that, she's saying, no, what Rachel's saying is right. She wasn't really trying to throw her
I
under-
mean, keeping in mind that it's Camilla's second language, you know, like sorry, but she could have heard something that wasn't actually.
Exactly.
I mean, if I heard a conversation in Spanish, yeah, I speak Spanish, but I don't understand their like how they're saying something. If it's a joke, if it's serious, you know.
It could be easily misconstrued.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, Robin starts freaking out, saying she's not crazy, and that was entertainment
Out of
its own.
nowhere.
And
That
it's just
was
like, girl,
weird.
if anyone's gonna retire, because apparently Mark's not retiring now again. If anyone's gonna retire, Robin, it needs to be you. I'm just gonna say that you just don't need to be on these shows anymore. I'm over it. But let's talk about Emily and this blackface incident. First of all, the first thing I wrote is, one, why is Anissa speaking?
I
Because
said,
no question was being asked to
Why
Anissa.
did Anissa go at her?
Because
Why was
no-
Lisa there? Let's start with that question.
Anissa wanted
Thank
camera time for
you.
sure. She was just like, I gotta get my face in the camera for a second. I mean, I get. No, I don't. I mean, yes, Emily phrased it perfectly. Anissa, you've never had a couple drinks and done something stupid.
Oh, well, okay. From personal experience of knowing of Anissa through some very close friends of mine, yes, you have, girl. Multiple times.
Don't try to pretend you haven't. I mean,
Multiple
I
times.
have, and by I have, I mean yesterday.
Right.
Like every single day. And yeah, all you can do at that point is learn from your mistakes and apologize. If Emily next week did the same thing,
Then
what? But she's apologized. She said she's she didn't know. I mean, I don't know how truthful that is. Apologize that she didn't know. She hasn't done anything racist since then. I mean, give the girl a break.
Right.
And the girl's sitting there crying. And we've heard from every single person who has come in here. And honestly, we've talked to a lot of them, that Emily's just the greatest girl, such a sweetheart, from a small town. She even says, I'm from a cult. Like, I would just give the girl a break.
Exactly. And so...
But I understand why Ty was upset at first. But now, if he's gotten over it, Anissa... What?
Right, and then but what got me upset was the fact that he kind of jumped on Anissa's bandwagon.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, really, Ty? Simmo. Who's got the keys to the beamer?
Yeah, but I did understand that at the same time. Also, if you have to question if something's racist,
Don't.
yeah, just don't. But
At
when
least
you've got
not
a
on
drink in
TV.
you, then
At least
do.
not on TV. Right, and she was drunk, but at least not on TV. If it's in the privacy of your home, hey, girl, do whatever you need to do. And then... It was the weirdest ending to this show. It was just like, yeah, so Johnny and Camilla won, and congratulations, we'll see you next season.
Well, he was like, we're going to come back after commercial break, and we're going to talk about all the fun stuff that happened. We came back, and 2 things were mentioned. Number 1, Paula said, every day we're not in a cubicle. And number 2, Mark isn't done. And that was that. And the show ended.
End of story. I mean, I don't know, Steamer, did you see a different reunion than us? Did we see the abridged version? Or did
No,
you...
it was pretty short. Like there was like nothing really happening. They focused on each couple that was there, and that was it. There was nothing. It just seemed kind of blah.
By the way,
Normally at the end they have like a preview for the next Real World, but I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if it's delayed or I don't know when that's coming on.
well, I don't know if they're at that point where they could put together a preview for the next Real World yet.
Well, for the Real World they can. For the
not for the I know.
not for the challenge.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
however, news and gossip is that the Real World that the challenge did get picked up again.
Right.
Super excited for that.
Which is awesome. Quick question. I mean, did you guys recognize Dunbar? Because I would go, who is that guy on stage with the glasses?
Is one of the tech guys up there? One of the
Literally, I was
camera
like, is that
guys?
her boyfriend or what?
Oh wait, can we please talk about Paula's crying about the boyfriend? And this because Frank was unsure if Paula is actually still with her boyfriend, right?
Right, and she's not, she says.
She says she's not, but did Frank say?
Frank said he texted her and was like, oh my God, can't believe you cheated on your boyfriend. Are you still with her? And she was like, I know, I can't believe I did that either.
She says she wasn't though. Right?
And then he's like, but are you? And she's like, ha ha. And he's like, but really? And she's like, I can't believe I cheated.
So do you think that maybe she...
I bet she's trying to get him back.
Exactly,
I mean,
that's
she
what
on this episode, I think her and Ty talked about this beforehand, and she was like, listen, I'm going to say it was a mistake. You're going to say all these sweet things. We're going to get my boyfriend back from me. Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, as long as we're on the same page with that. So, I mean, other than that, that was really the episode, the season, and we had such a great season for the show. Kind of a flat tire with the reunion, but we got what we wanted. We got what we needed. I think anything extra may have actually been kind of fluff.
Right.
And plus, I mean, maybe from last episode of us with CT and everything he said, we got it all here. All the news is here. So go back and listen to it again. So we're going to head to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to...
Yours is so much better than mine.
Stump the Steamer!
Why don't you get us out?
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
What do you
Ready? Ready?
All right. You got to do the whole thing. Do it over.
Stump the Steamer!
I love it. All right, so Susie Easton, one of our favorite Twitter followers here, gave us an amazing question tonight. And we're going to see if we can not only stump the Steamer, but if we can stump Ronnie Jr. as well. Steamer obviously gets first dibs at this. And Ronnie, I need to see your hands up because I do not want you cheating. All right.
We see them. We see the hand.
All right, Steamer, you ready? Do you need a quick breather? All right, here we go.
How do we know Steamer's not cheating?
Well,
Because I'm on it.
Okay. Steamer.
You hear that, ladies?
And because you've been wrong before, so.
Hit up at the Steamer if you want an honest gentleman who knows everything about the damn real world. You can talk about it for days. All right. What was the name of the Elimination Challenge where The Miz sent home Abram? What season was it and episode number?
Boy.
I'll repeat it again. What was the name of the Elimination Challenge where The Miz sent home Abram? What season was it and episode number? Now, if you can name this off the top of your head.
It was one of the Infernos, wasn't it? Inferno 2?
I need to hear a whole answer.
I don't know like the name of the challenge.
Okay, but can you at least guess the season?
Yeah, Inferno 2.
Inferno 2? That's incorrect.
That's right. Abram won those challenges.
What was it?
It's not the Inferno because Abram won the Infernos. I do not know.
We have stumped the Steamer!
Ronnie, hands up.
Ronnie, hands up. Ronnie, what was the name of the Elimination Challenge where The Miz sent home Abram? What season was it?
If the Steamer don't know it, I definitely don't know that answer.
Didn't you get one of them?
I did, but that one is like the toughest question I've ever heard on any Stump. Susie Easton, you're doing a lot right there.
She's doing a lot, but the only reason I accepted this was because it was really cute, Susie, that you included The Miz in this question, and he was like the guy, the challenge, the host. So I thought that was cute. So it's actually The Gauntlet, episode 12, and it's called Knock Your Block Off.
I'm gonna knock your block off.
So that's it, guys.
Mama said knock your
Roxy's gonna knock her block off. And we want to thank you guys so much for staying with us, joining us all season. Thank you for making Roxy and I the winners of Battle of the Exes.
Yeah! And not of Emily's stupid game.
No, not of Emily's stupid game. You guys can follow us at AfterBuzz TV. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter. Please, please, please subscribe to us on iTunes. We'll be back for the real world, and we'll be back for the challenge as well. You can follow me at DJ Jesse J on Twitter.
At Roxy Striar.
Until next time, next season, peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.